leveraged opportunity to get rich. I'm Nate. I'm the FitFutureMD. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Pick up your free copy of the workout and nutrition guide in the description below. I'm currently down 40 pounds and I lost 30 pounds in 30 days. I'm the owner of Ensorsale. Ensorsale believes in changing the world. And you do that by inspiring others. And you inspire others with the inspirational messages. What is your inspirational message? Wear your inspiration today and become part of the Ensorsale family. Use code FitFutureMD for 20% off if you're interested. So, I'm going to take you back a little bit here and talk about my mindset at, when I was a kid compared to my mindset now, right? So, back when I was in high school, I looked around and I tried to see who was successful, who was living the lifestyle that I would want to grow up and live. And I just recently, went back to my childhood home that we got evicted from, and definitely took some time for gratitude, right? Because where I am at now compared to where we were then is a night and day difference. Like I say, and ignorance is a little bliss, because back then I thought we were doing so amazing, right? But I had, no idea what my mother was doing to keep the lights on, to keep the water going, and who would have known that I would end up working on water meters and stuff, because back then we were busting the lock out of the water meter and turning the water back on when it got cut off, right? So, I don't know what the statute of limitation is on that, but, and the technician was so dumb that when we paid the bill to have it cut back on, they would come back out and turn it back off because they didn't know that I had already turned it back on. But anyway, I digress on that. But where you're at now is not where you're going to end up, right? And you can choose to change your situation, right? So I did that. Obviously college was pushed heavily back then. It was 2000, I graduated high school in 2005, right? So pre-recession, most successful people that I knew had all gone to college, right? And were living the lifestyle, driving the car, the nice new cars, nice new trucks, right? They had all gone to college. They were all driving to Raleigh every day, that type of stuff. Let's say, and the person that really was living the lifestyle that I want was the doctor I shadowed, right? So obviously, I ended up in med school in the Caribbean, which ended up not being the career path that I wanted, that I actually ended up wanting, right? But that's why I went down that road, because I saw that person, the end of the journey for that person. I didn't see the middle part of the journey and what you would have to go through to get to that end and what age they were when they got there, right? So, I'm 18, I'm seeing this 55-year-old doctor or 50-year-old doctor, talking about going on trips, driving fancy cars, living in the big house in the big, nice, beautiful neighborhood. And I'm thinking, oh, that's going to be me, right? But doctor is a 10-year journey, right? But basically, the point of this video is talking about leveraging skills, right? Not really about that, but I did want to say the gratitude from where I was at back then to where I am now, even though the journey has gone, twisted and turned and pivots here and there, trying to figure out exactly where I wanted to end up, right? Which is how I landed on Ensorsale, right? But so most people start their business journey on what's called a service-based business, right? So say you're that person from, but you have the hustle, right? You're the person that comes from the poor neighborhood that has nothing to their name. You don't even have a car to your name, right? What you can do is you can start a service-based business for basically nothing, right? So say you wanted to start a car wash company, right? Well, you walk into these businesses and say, hey, I'll wash your car while you're here at work. And then when you get off work, your car ought to be washed and cleaned up. I'll come by, grab the keys, go have it washed and cleaned up for you, and come back and charge a certain fee for that service, right? And what are most people lacking when they're having to work 40 hours a week and then drive an hour to and from work? Well, they need that extra time, so they may pay a little bit extra to have that done. Well, the material cost to start that is super low, right? So that's what's called a service-based business. And definitely know some successful people that, another one is like lawn care. That one's a little bit more steep, but you can start with like a push mower or stuff like that, just do in your neighborhood, whatever. But most people start in what's called a service-based business, right? And the service-based business gets you a bunch of income coming in, right? So say you're making 80 to 100 grand in your service-based business, that can give you opportunity to go in a lot more other directions than going through college, spending 80 to 100 grand, and then starting maybe making 40 or 50 grand, right? So in America, no matter where you're coming from, you can choose to go a direction that's a little bit better than the one that I did, right? Now, it looks really good now because, I'm sitting in the air conditioning all day. I'm in my lab, right? Because I'm a chemist, right? Or a laboratory technician, right? But my degree is in chemistry, right? So I am a chemist. But, so I'm in the air conditioning all day, right? I don't know, my tan's all right, I guess, but the point is you can leverage your hustle to move up to higher leveraged opportunities, right? So that being said, what are those higher leveraged opportunities, right? Well, number one is real estate, right? So say the only thing I know is how to wash cars. The only thing I know is how to cut grass, whatever. The only thing I know is, bushes, all that kind of stuff. That's all I know. Well, if I take 15 to 20% of everything I make and I invest it in the stock market and real estate, those are high leverage opportunities, right? You're earning money from other people's work, right? So if you invest in Apple's a huge corporation that has thousands of employees that now work for you, and you get a piece of the opportunity, right? That's a leveraged opportunity. But then what I'm seeing now is where people are going into teaching, right? In educational courses. So say how to make a successful car wash company as a course, given to all these people that want to, you know, $100, say it's a $100 course, to everybody that wants to start a car wash company, right? That's really what you see a lot online, right? And the reason for that is because there's only a certain amount of expansion you can do in a service-based business, right? You can only service so many customers, right? So even if you try to scale something up, there's only so high it can scale, right? But you can teach millions of people, right? Alongside of scaling it up, right? So that's what you see. That's what you see a lot of, right? And then a lot of people will go into franchising. So if you got a successful brand name say in the car wash industry, you can franchise that and have other people invest into that franchise, own the franchise, and you take a fee off the top for the franchise, right? So that's leverage, okay? And pretty much that is the billionaire formula, right? You find something that you're good and successful at, you make courses on it, you take the proceeds and you put it into the stock market and real estate, right? Because really, like, what's the dream in all this, right? The dream is to have a meaningful life, right? A life worth living, right? So I explained that in my last video that nobody really watched, but got a fly in here. Yeah, so that's really how this game works, right? You take what you know. So everybody wants to start at the top, right? I wanted to start at the end of the doctor's career, right? When, you know, it was going to be a 10-year journey just to get started and making $50,000 as a resident, right? And then maybe $100,000 the first few years, right? When I could have just went and washed cars for $100,000, right? Now, the other part, the prestige and all that stuff, that's gone downhill big time. The respect for doctors has gone way down, right? It's not like the 50s and 60s, you know, where doctors were highly respected, you know, and that's, you know, part of the profession too. You know, you make a bunch of mistakes, you're arrogant, and that kind of stuff happens. But I definitely think I was meant to be more creative. So here I am making videos. I make designs for my clothing brand, Ensorsale. You know, hopefully you'll pick up, you know, an inspirational t-shirt for you and your family. Like I say, if you can change the world with words, right? And putting words on your t-shirt so other people see what inspires you, like, that's something that will change the world. And that's what living a meaningful life is about, right? Changing the world to make it a better place. Like, say, Revelations talks about how the world goes downhill and, you know, all this evil that comes out and how you have to fight through it. But the only way to fight through it is by doing good, right? Doing good works. You start with inspirational messages, right? So the back of this shirt, it says effort is a choice, right? So every day you choose to have high effort in whatever you do, right? Character is a choice, right? Choosing the character traits that you want to personify for the world to see. And, you know, that is a choice, what character that you decide to have, right? And I saw an inspirational quote the other day that I really, really like, and it's that, be so good that when someone talks bad about you, that nobody believes them, right? So, you know, that makes me kind of think about, like, Mr. Fisk in Spider-Man, right? Or Daredevil. and how he basically so rich that he had done so much for the community that all the evil stuff everybody looked over because, you know, he had been doing so many good things and had so much leverage over everybody. But, you know, he was still evil, but just think about that. Like, can you imagine doing so many good works in your community that when someone talks negative about you, that nobody believes them? Like, that's the kind of thing that I like, right? That I want to inspire to, that I want to choose to do, right? I want to choose to do so much good in this world that if someone talked negative about me, people wouldn't even believe it, right? That's a great quote. I love that quote. That's probably going on a t-shirt. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. Like, be so good that they don't even believe the lies people spread about you. Love that. And, but yeah, this video is about leveraged opportunity, right? So leverage what you have, right? So if you're starting from the bottom and all you have are two hands that work, go find an opportunity to use those two hands, right? Whether that's washing cars, you know, whatever it is that you have the skill to be able to do that you can leverage. And even if that's just a regular normal job, right? So I work a regular normal job, and that's to feed myself and feed my family, right? That's not to, you know, that's to pay my bills, right? That's not what gives me fulfillment, gives me joy, right? Is building something else for somebody else. But I am in a service, right? So I am helping provide clean water to people, right? And that's something that is good to give back to your community, stuff like that. So if it lines up with your mission, lines up with your purpose, you know, it's okay, right? Say, and if you have to flip in and out of jobs until you find what that is, that's okay too, right? Don't get trapped in, oh, I'm in this and I have to be in this, right? And there's people out there that are good at stuff that hate what they do, right? You might be super good at sales, but sales is not fulfilling, right? There's very few things you sell to people that fulfill you in your heart, right? But if you can find something out there that you sell that you know helps people, that can give you fulfillment. So that's why, you know, the brand Ensorsale is so important to me, because I know that I'm going to help people. That's why I give away the fitness and workout guide for free, right? Because I know that that's going to help people. And it's short and sweet and gets right to the point. There's no fluff story in there, right? Like, this is just how to get it done. And you know, I'm doing it and it's working for me, right? Down 40 pounds, and I'll be down 50 probably by the end of next month, right? So keep that in mind, guys. Stay fit forever, right? Do the plan, get on the Stay Fit Forever plan. Do something that you can follow forever, right? Like last night, I was ever to have frozen yogurt, right? Woke up this morning, you know, number one, had a little joy from the frozen yogurt. But number two, there were no real side effects from the frozen yogurt, right? Because it's a rare thing now. It's not like, oh, I'm going to do that every day, right? So, but that's something I can do forever. I can have a frozen yogurt once a month forever and still be healthy. But I can't have a frozen yogurt every night. I can't have pizza every night. I can't be eating wings every day, right? That's not healthy. That's not staying fit forever, right? Let's say Wednesdays are my off days. So, you know, obviously concentrating on stretching and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, so make a choice today to turn your life around, whether it be financially, whether it be start with your character, your mindset. You know, all this stuff is a choice, right? And you're used to certain habits, right? To cut those habits, you got to do something different for 60 straight days. And then the habit is formed, right? And it's be a lot harder to revert back to a different habit, right? Or to the habit that you had before. I'm Nate. I'm the FitFutureMD. Like, follow, and subscribe. Send this video to somebody that needs it, right? Like I say, there's so many people out there that need help, and I'm here to help you. Like, send me an email with your questions, comment down below with your questions. You know, I'm here to help you, right? And that gives me fulfillment in life. So helping people is what I love to do. So shop at Ensorsale.com. Use code FitFutureMD for 20% off. Leverage your opportunity, leverage the skill set that you have, and become successful. See you next time. Peace.